folks in Congress should not be allowed to trade individual stocks because they, of course, get insider information about those that the rest of the citizens are not privy to. It puts them in a huge, gives them huge advantages that they shouldn't have. And so, even AOC, there's bipartisan support for this effort to stop that from happening. And so Josh Hawley introduced that bill in committee yesterday. And it actually, so he said, my bill to ban members of Congress from day trading on the taxpayer's dime just passed out of committee, clearing the first hurdle to becoming law. Bring it to the Senate floor for a vote now. He was the only Republican in the committee to vote on it, to vote for it to pass out of committee, the only Republican. And so I was like, wait a minute, what is going on? And then I saw Trump going after him. And I was like, wait a minute, why would Trump be mad about this? So the whole thing is very, very confusing. Read what Trump said about Hawley.
Okay. Why would one Republican, Senator Josh Hawley from the great state of Missouri, join with all the Democrats to block a review sponsored by Senator Rick Scott and with the support of almost all of the Republicans of Nancy Pelosi's stock trading over the past 25 years? The information was inappropriately released just minutes before the vote, very much like sabotage. The Democrats, because of our tremendous achievements and success, have been trying to target me for a long period of time. And they're using Josh Hawley, who I got elected twice, as a pawn to help them. I wonder why Hawley would pass a bill that Nancy Pelosi is in absolute love with. He is playing right into the dirty hands of the Democrats. It's a great bill for her and her husband, but so bad for our country. I don't think real Republicans want to see their president, who has had unprecedented success, targeted because of the whims of a second-tier senator named Josh Hawley.
Yikes. So I was like, what is going on? And then it turns out, and I'll show you another tweet that is an automated AI generated tweet that was sort of explanatory about this. But it turns out that the bill that they ended up passing out of committee doesn't apply to Trump. Somehow Trump and Vance are exempted from this rule. And I just think that is super, super weird.
It's
so
really weird. Yeah,
this it comes from White House X-Ray, and it says Trump's admin carved out a personal exemption from Hawley's stock ban on July 30th, allowing himself and Vance to keep trading while imposing rules on others, but he cries sabotage when accountability knocks. The bill passed 8-7 only after shielding Trump's portfolio. Rand Paul admitted that it should apply to him, while the GOP co-sponsors abandoned ship, calling the entire process chaotic. Trump's team cited Article 2 concerns to block the executive branch's inclusion, a naked power grab disguised as constitutional caution. Hypocrisy isn't governance. Real leaders don't exempt themselves from ethics laws that they demand for their rivals.
But here would be my question. Here would be my question is that, are they exempt only when they're in office?
I think so. I think the whole bill only applies while you're in office and you have access to insider information and that you wouldn't otherwise.
When you're out, you can do whatever the hell you want.
I mean, I would think that's the case.
So I don't know why would there be an exemption for those two?
I don't know. And
I don't get it.
And then that it passed with the exemption also makes me like, why is he mad at Josh Hawley then? Like, what is?
I don't get it.
There's so much drama happening beyond this bill that I do not understand, but this is happening.
There just shouldn't be any exemptions anywhere. Like, they shouldn't be able to trade. None of them. That's what I think. If you're a politician, you shouldn't be able to do the stock trading thing. F you. None of you should get an exemption. Nobody should. And then when you're out, do whatever you want. I don't care. But when you're in office, and you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't.
The whole thing is very, very strange.
Right. This is why, I had a conversation with my daughter the other day because she's interested in all this stuff, which I don't understand why, because she's 15 and sometimes she's like a 92-year-old trapped in a 15-year-old body. But she's like, I'm interested in stock trading. Show me how to do this. And so I'm like, all you got to do is look at Nancy Pelosi and see what she does, and you'll get rich. And she's like, well, why is that? Well, it's because this is why. And so I had to explain to her, like, they basically cheat. And she's like, well, how are they allowed to? I don't understand. Why are they allowed to cheat? And then you have to explain to her why they're allowed to cheat. It doesn't make any sense. Having to explain that to a 15-year-old makes you understand how completely absurd it is and how corrupt it all is. And
I mean,
so
it totally is. And so I don't know. I don't understand why Trump thinks he and JD Vance should be exempted from it. I mean, just no, I don't think they should be. So Nancy Pelosi was actually asked about this by, I think it's Jake Tapper, and you'll hear, she does not want to talk about it. Surprise. And here is how that conversation went.
Yeah, it was. Let me just read what he said. I'm sorry that we had some sort of technical issue. Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the stop the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time. I'm not into it. My husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider. But the president has his own exposure, so he's always projecting. He's always projecting. And let's not give him any more time on that, please. We're going forward here. And I'm very proud of my family. And while he might make fun of us, while somebody inspired by him breaks into our home and hits my husband in a deadly fashion, hits my husband over the head, and he thinks that's a riot, I'd rather not go into some of my other complaints about him right now. Rather to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid.
Yeah.
I don't even know when that clip was, but it was relevant to this discussion.
Let's talk about January 6th, shall we, Nance?
Right.
And oh my God, what a complete hag that woman is. And insider trade, like, let's not talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about Trump, like deflect. Let's talk about your $24,000 fridge. I mean, come on. Right? This woman, of course she engages in that. There are literal sites on the internet that follow her and her stock trading and how it is obvious what she's done. It is obvious to anybody with half of a brain cell. Of course she engages in that. I'm glad that Jake Tapper found a little tiny mouse ball and attached it to his body. And then he decided to ask that. Good for you, Jake.
Good job.
No follow-up questions. But good that you asked that. Good Lord.
We have to remind people again about dogs and rough greens, because I don't feel like you guys are really taking us seriously about this amazing product. Look at their faces.
My dogs take it seriously because they love it. And they're like, Mommy, this is good for us. We like it. It's so good. So naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, he created Rough Greens because he saw a need for dogs to have live nutrition. And because we do it too. We take vitamins, and he's like, why can't dogs get vitamins? Because it gives them, why can't they? Because they get shinier coats and better digestion and less scratching and more energy. And I mean, we've seen it mostly with Theo, but I'm starting to see it with Bear. Because listen, Bear had a great owner before us. She was awesome. She spoiled the crap out of him. But I don't think she gave him Rough Greens, because I can tell he's just his coat is getting shinier and prettier and softer and not as sheddy. You know what I mean? So I like that a lot. Anyways, you can try a free Jumpstart bag for your dog today at roughchicks.com with promo code CHICKS. It's America's #1 dog supplement. They love it. They absolutely love it. Sometimes it takes a day or two to get them situated with it. But I mean, at least 2 out of 3 of my dogs absolutely just rip into it. They love it so much. So definitely try it out. If you haven't tried it, go to roughchicks.com, use promo code CHICKS for a free Jumpstart bag. That's a $20 value. You just have to cover shipping. Rough Chicks.
And I think you can try it for free for your kitty cats too.
For Meow Greens. That's for the kitty cats. For kitty cats. And they have great treats, you guys. They're safe for puppies. They're all natural. They're really great. They're crunchy. We give them to our dogs, but they're really great and they don't hurt their tummies,
That's right.
It's great.
Roughchicks.com.
Roughchicks.com.